Good afternoon, students. Today our discussion topic is human eye and the colorful world. So today in this session we will mainly discuss what is human eye, its structure, how it looks like, its various part of human eye and their function. So 3 to 4 topics will be covered in this session. So let's start with human eye. So the basic thing of human eye is that it is a natural optical instrument. It is a natural optical instrument which is used to see the objects, by human beings. So it is a natural optical instrument. It is a natural optical instrument which is used to see the objects, by us, or you can say by human beings. Basically it is like a camera. Human eye is basically like a camera which has a lens and a screen system. Camera has a lens and a screen system, so basically it is like a camera. Human eye is like a camera which has a lens and a screen system. Clear? So next, its structure, how human eye looks like. Its structure, how human eye looks like. So basically it looks like this. Almost looks like this. So basically this type, these are muscles. Okay. So these two are actually muscles. These two are actually muscles. They are known as ciliary muscles. These are ciliary muscles. This part is known as pupil. This is known as pupil. Okay, and this part is known as retina. This part is known as retina. This middle part, that means this part is actually known as this part is actually known as aqueous humor. Aqueous humor. This part is known as, that means the middle part, this part is known as aqueous humor. This part is known as iris. This is known as iris. Clear? And this hollow part is known as cornea. This is known as cornea. Also this part is also known as crystalline lens. This crystalline lens. Clear? This part is known as choroid. This middle position, that is, this is known as blind spot. Clear? This is known as sclera. This is a muscle, one type of muscle. This is known as sclera. This is a muscle, one type of muscle. This is known as sclera. Clear? And also this is known as optic nerve. This is known as optic nerve. So these are all these part of a human eye. this is a part of human eye, and it actually looks like this. Clear? So this is a structure, basic structure of human eye, and these are composed of various muscles and many tiny small parts. Clear? So in this section we will discuss each of this part and its function, each of these parts and their functions. So make a heading: various parts of human eye, various parts of human eye and their functions, and their functions. Various parts of human eye and their functions. So first part of human eye, that is retina, main important part of human eye, that is retina. What is retina? Retina actually is a light sensitive screen. Like a camera, it has a screen system. Also human eye has a screen system which is actually called as retina. It is a light sensitive screen system. It is present inside the eye where actually image is formed. So it is a light sensitive, retina is a light sensitive screen. It is a light sensitive screen inside the eye, present inside the eye where image is formed. Where image is formed. It contains rods and cones. Clear? So this is a retina. What is its function? The function of retina is it captures light rays. It basically captures light rays focused by the lens. It captures light rays focused by the lens and sends this impulse to our brain via the optic nerve. It captures mainly light rays focused by the lens and sends impulses to our brain via the optic nerve. So basically this is the function of retina. That means it captures the light rays which is focused by the lens. So its function is captures light rays focused by the lens and sends impulses to the brain via optic nerve. So it captures light rays focused by the lens and sends impulses to the brain via optic nerve. Clear? So number one, retina. Number two is cornea. Number two part is cornea. So what is cornea? It is like a membrane. Which covers the eye trail. So cornea is a membrane. It is a membrane which covers the eye trail. It is like a membrane which covers the eye trail. Function of cornea. What is the function of cornea? Function of cornea, it acts like a lens. Like a camera, it has a lens. So in human eye, its lens is cornea. In human eye, the lens is actually cornea. So it acts like a lens which refracts the light entering the eye. That means the light which is entering our eye, it refracts that light. It acts like a lens. It is a thin membrane which actually provides almost 67% of eye's focusing power. So it acts like a lens. That means cornea acts like a lens. It acts like a lens which refracts the light entering the eye. entering the eye. It acts like lens which reflects the light entering the eye. It is a thin membrane. This cornea is a thin membrane. It is a thin membrane which provides almost 67% of the eye's focusing power. That means almost 67% of the eye's focusing power will be provided by cornea. Clear? So number 2, cornea. This is the second part. Third part, aqueous humor. Third part is aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is basically a fluid. It is a fluid. Aqueous humor is basically a fluid. It is present between the cornea and eye lens. It is a fluid which is present or which fills the space between cornea and your eye lens. Clear? So aqueous humor, it is a fluid. Which fills the space between cornea and eye lens. A fluid which fills the space between cornea and eye lens. It is a fluid. So its function, what is its function? What is the function of aqueous humor? It provides power to cornea. It basically provides power to cornea. So it provides, aqueous humor provides power to cornea. It provides power to cornea. So the third part is our aqueous humor. Next, fourth part. Fourth part is eye lens. Fourth part is eye lens. So what is eye lens? It is a convex lens. Eye lens is basically a convex lens. It is made up of transparent and flexible jelly-like material. It is a convex lens. It is made up of transparent and flexible jelly-like material. Its curvature, this eye lens curvature, can be adjusted with the help of a ciliary muscle. The ciliary muscles, with the help of ciliary muscles, its curvature can be adjusted. Because it is a lens, so it must have curvature. So what is curvature? You will study in light chapter and lens chapter that what is curvature. Just know it by name now, that it is a convex lens. So as it is a lens, so be a convex lens or be a concave lens, every lens must have a curvature. Clear? So as it is a convex lens, it is made up of transparent and flexible jelly-like material, and its curvature can be adjusted. That means this lens can be adjusted with the help of ciliary muscles. So eye lens, it is a convex lens. It is a convex lens. It is a convex lens made of transparent and flexible jelly-like substances or jelly-like material. It is a convex lens made of transparent and flexible jelly-like material. Its curvature can be adjusted. Its curvature can be adjusted with the help of ciliary muscles. So this is eye lens. What is its function? The function of lens. What is the function of lens? The function of lens and the function of eye lens is very similar. The main function of lens is to focus any object at various distances. So the eye lens, function of eye lens is also same. So it can focus it can focus objects at various distances. So it helps to focus objects at various distances. It is the function of eye lens. So it focus objects at various distances from eye. To focus objects at various distance from eye. Clear? So the fourth part, that is eye lens. Fifth part, that is pupil. Now this pupil is actually a hole. It is actually a hole in the middle of iris. Pupil is actually a hole in the middle of iris through which light enters the eye. Now what is iris? I'll explain later. Clear? Just now know it by name that pupil is a hole. It is actually the middle of iris through which light enters our eye. Clear? So pupil is a hole. It is a hole in the middle of iris. It is a hole in the middle of iris through which light enters the eye. It is basically a hole in the middle of iris through which light enters the eye. Clear? This pupil actually appears black. Because light falling on it goes into the eye and it does not come back. When light falls on pupil or light enters through pupil, it goes into the eye but it does not come back. That's why this pupil looks black in color. Clear? So what is its function? Its function. What is its function? What is the function of pupil? The function of pupil is it opens and closes in order to regulate and control the amount of light. Because pupil is actually hole, so through which light enters our eye. So pupil opens and closes in order to regulate and control the amount of light. That means how much light will enter in our eye, that is controlled by this pupil. Clear? So it opens, pupil opens and closes. Pupil opens and closes in order to regulate and control the amount of light. It opens and closes in order to regulate and control the amount of light. It is the function of pupil. Next, sixth part is ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles. So these are muscles. Ciliary muscles, these are muscles which are attached to the eye lens. These ciliary muscles are attached to the eye lens and they can modify the shape of eye lens, which leads to the variation in focal length. So if the shape of eye lens is changed, its focusing power will be changed, its focal length will be changed, because the function of eye lens was to focus objects. That means it has a particular focal length. As ciliary muscles are attached to the eye lens, so it can modify the shape of eye lens, and if the shape of eye lens are modified, then also its focal length will be changed. As a result, its focus power or focusing power will also be changed. So these are the function. This is the basic function of ciliary muscles. That means it can change the shape or it can modify the shape of eye lens. So these are the muscles, ciliary muscles. These are the muscles. These are the muscles which are attached to the eye lens. These are the muscles which are attached to the eye lens and can modify the shape of this is E, and can modify the shape of eye lens, and can modify the shape of eye lens, which leads to the variation of focal lengths. So this is what is ciliary muscles. Now what is its function? So I am erasing this total part. So this is ciliary muscle, and next, what is its functions? What is its function? Now it contracts and extends such a way, the ciliary muscles contracts and extends in such a way in order to change the lens, that is the shape of lens, for focusing. This is the main basic function of ciliary muscles. So it contracts and extends. It contracts and extends in order to change the shape of lens, for focusing. That means depending upon the distance of the object from the eye, the ciliary muscles, as it is attached to the eye lens, it can change the shape of the eye lens so that it can focus properly. Clear? So this is the basic function of ciliary muscles. Next one, number 7th part, that is iris. 7th part, that is iris. What is iris? Iris are attached to ciliary muscles. These are also muscles. Iris are also muscles, but these are attached to ciliary muscles. So these are the muscles. They are attached to ciliary muscles. Like in case of, like, ciliary muscles were attached to the eye lens. These iris muscles are attached with the ciliary muscles. Clear? So its function, what is its function? Its function is it controls the light level. Iris controls the light level, that means amount of light, similar to aperture of a camera. Like camera, it has a particular aperture. So what is the function of aperture of a camera? It controls the light level, that means amount of light. Clear? So like camera, it has an aperture, it can control the amount of light or light level. So in case of human eye, iris is actually like a aperture of a camera. So iris here actually controls your light level or amount of light by changing the size of pupil. So it controls, iris controls the amount of light. It controls the amount of light by changing the size of pupil. By changing the size of pupil. Like camera, it has a particular aperture. So by that we can control the light level or amount of light entering in the camera. So in human eye, iris done this function by controlling the amount of light and by changing the size of pupil. Clear? Next, eighth part of human eye, there is optical nerve. Optical nerve, these are actually nerves. Optical nerves are nerves which take the image to the brain. These nerves take the image to the brain in the form of electrical signals. These optical nerves take the image of the object to the brain in the form of signals. So optical nerve, these are nerves. These are nerves which take the image to the brain, in the form of electrical signals. in the form of electrical signals. These are nerves which take the image to the brain in the form of electrical signals. These are optical nerves. What is its function? Function of optical nerve. Its function is it transmits electrical signals to the brain. It transmits electrical signals to the brain, because only then the image will be transferred, or image will go into the brain by the form of or in the form of electrical signals. So its function is transmits electrical signals. It transmits electrical signals to the brain. It transmits electrical signals to the brain. This is optical nerve. So these are some parts of human eye, and more parts are there, like the conjunctive. This is also a part of human eye. Conjunctive. What is conjunctive? It covers the outer surface, that is the visible part of eye. It covers the outer surface, that is the visible part of eye. So conjunctive, its function is it covers the outer surface. Outer surface means visible part, the part that is visible. Visible part covers the outer surface, that is visible part of eye. This is conjunctive. Another one, like sclera. It is also a one type of muscle and part of a human eye. Sclera. So it protects the outer surface, or it protects the outer coat. It is mainly a protective muscle. So it protects the outer coat. So it protects the outer coat. It protects the outer coat. This is sclera. Clear? Next, apart from all of these, there is one part, that is vitreous humor. Vitreous humor. This is also a part of human eye. It is also a muscle which provides the eye with its form and shape. That means it provides shape of human eye. It provides the shape and form of human eye. So vitreous humor, its function is it forms. The function is it forms, or you can say it provides. It provides the eye. It provides the eye with its form and shape. It provides the eye with its form and shape. So these are the parts of human eye. So basically these three parts, there is conjunctive, vitreous humor and sclera. These are the additional or not so important, these three parts, but we will learn all these three parts. Basically the important parts are like retina, like cornea, aqueous humor or eye lens, iris, optical nerve, pupil, ciliary muscles. All these are important parts of human eye, and these three are subordinate part, or these are not so important, but you should study all these parts. Third one, that is conjunctive, vitreous humor and sclera. So this is all about human eye, its structure, its function. So this lecture is complete. In the next session we will discuss from here. Thank you.